15 times, alligators messed with the wrong opponent. Do you think the alligator is always the ultimate predator? Think again. Two worlds colliding, unlikely rivals, and moments when the king of the swamp discovered that nature has its own rules. Get ready to see surprising scenes, real clashes, and wild twists. The most feared one doesn't always come out on top. But before we begin, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Now let's get started. Number 15, Alligator vs. Jaguar. The alligator is nature's living tank. Bone armor, impenetrable scales, and a bite force that reaches over 2 tons per square centimeter. When it shuts its mouth, it feels like the earth itself is closing in. Its body is low, adapted for water and ambush. It's the master of silence. You don't see it, you don't hear it. You only feel it when it's already too late. An explosion of muscle, a deadly spin, the famous death roll, and the enemy becomes dinner. But if the alligator is a tank, the jaguar is a turbocharged one. It's not just strength, it's pure agility. Among all the big cats of the Americas, the jaguar has the most powerful bite, even stronger than a lion's. It can pierce bones, shells, and even turtle carapaces. While other cats prefer to suffocate their prey, the jaguar goes straight for the skull. It bites and punctures the brain, a predator of surgical precision. In water, the alligator feels at home. Patient, invisible, a ghost among submerged branches. But who else swims with perfection? Exactly, the jaguar. Unlike most big cats, it doesn't fear water, it dominates it. Its spotted camouflage blends with the shadows of the forest, and suddenly that low growl turns into a fast, precise strike. Brute force versus refined technique, armor versus puncture, endurance versus cunning. The alligator may wait hours for an opportunity, but the jaguar is a master at creating its own. One sudden leap, one precise bite to a weak spot, and even the reptile's armor isn't enough. So who wins? The answer is clear, the jaguar. It's the terror of the Amazon rivers precisely because it learned how to hunt the hunter. Alligators aren't at the top of the food chain when this feline shows up. Now tell me, if you were fishing quietly and saw an alligator on one side and a jaguar on the other, where would you run? Exactly. Maybe the best choice would be to run home, lock the door, and watch this fight only here, in imagination. After all, with these two, humans are just spectators. And let's be honest, easy prey as well. Number 14, Alligator vs. Lion. Picture the encounter. On one side, the alligator, a prehistoric machine straight out of nature's manual of raw power. On the other, the lion, the king of the savannah, a muscular cat with a majestic mane and a bite that has brought down mighty buffaloes. It's like putting a Roman gladiator against a battle tank. Let's break it down. The alligator is pure resilience. It survived ice ages, meteors, climate shifts, and it's still here. Quiet, steady, pretending to be a floating log. But when it attacks, it's a toothy trap. Its bite reaches over 2 tons of pressure per square centimeter, stronger than any land predator. When it clamps down, there's no escape. Fish, zebras, wildebeests, even buffaloes that get too close to the water, dinner. And let's not forget the death roll. It grabs the victim and spins violently, shredding flesh and bone like paper. But the alligator has a weakness: mobility. On land, it's slow, heavy, like a grumpy old man trying to run a marathon. Its strength only truly shines in water, where it moves with impressive agility. Out of it, no matter how scary it looks, it loses speed and options. Now, the lion. The king doesn't wear the crown for nothing. He's a full package of muscle, agility, and group strategy. An adult male weighs over 190 kg, runs up to 80 km/h in short bursts, and leaps more than 10 meters in a single bound. Its bite isn't as insane as the alligators, but at 650 psi, it's enough to crush bones with ease. Plus, lions are strategists, used to taking down big, dangerous prey like buffaloes, wildebeests, and even young hippos. And those retractable claws. Razor-sharp blades, perfect for tearing thick skin. The big difference? The lion has mobility and reflexes. It can circle, flank, retreat, and strike again. On land, where it rains, the alligator would be in trouble. But in water, the king's crown sinks fast. There, the lion is heavy, slow, gasping, while the alligator glides like an aquatic missile. So who wins? Depends on the battlefield. On dry savanna ground, under the blazing sun, the lion has the edge. Too agile, too resistant, able to exploit the gator's slowness. But near the riverbank, just seconds of distraction are enough for the alligator to drag the king under and turn his mane into a menu decoration. Overall, analyzing brute force, versatility, and kill rate, the alligator comes out more dangerous. He doesn't need to chase, he waits. And when he strikes, it's game over. And you reading this, can you picture it? On safari, you'd cheer for the king, mane blowing in the wind. But at the river's edge, when you spot two glowing eyes at the surface, you'd think, maybe not today. So tell me, are you team lion, boldly facing the savannah, or team alligator, hoping you're not next on the menu? Number 13, alligator versus tiger. Imagine the scene. On one side, the alligator, a prehistoric fortress that has survived millions of years without needing much change. On the other, the tiger, muscular, elegant, explosive, carrying in its eyes the calm confidence of a predator that knows it can strike whenever it wants. Jurassic experience versus modern feline power. The alligator isn't foolish. It doesn't chase like a dog after a ball. It waits, still, like a rock with teeth. Its perfect camouflage and patience are lethal weapons, and when it snaps shut, that's the terrifying part. Its bite is the most powerful in the animal kingdom, easily surpassing 500 kilos of pressure. One clack, and bones turn into snapped twigs. In water, the gator is a tank, surprising speed, enormous strength, and the deadly death roll twisting its victim until flesh and bones are torn apart. But the tiger isn't here to play a side role. Its claws can tear through buffalo hide. Its leap is lightning fast, covering meters in fractions of a second. Its bite may not match the gator's, but it's nothing to dismiss. It hunts buffaloes and even bears in some regions, and the tiger doesn't rely on a single ambush strike. It's strategic, relentless, slashing, biting again, using agility as its main weapon. On land, it rules. And that's where the fight gets interesting. In water, the gator has the advantage. The tiger can swim, but the reptile's powerful tail and aquatic camouflage make things dangerous. A tiger pulled underwater is a tiger in trouble. But on land, the tables turn. The gator can lunge quickly for short distances, but loses in agility, stamina, and variety of attacks. The tiger can circle, flank, use speed, and reflexes. So, the alligator is like a single devastating strike. If it lands, it's over. The tiger, on the other hand, is constant pressure, persistence, a storm of claws and fangs. Now, who would win? On solid ground, the tiger takes it. Its mobility, hunting intelligence, and physical power mean it can dodge the fatal strike and deliver repeated attacks until the reptile is neutralized. In water, the gator has a chance, but the tiger isn't just any cat. It knows how to swim, and it doesn't jump into a fight without calculating risks. So overall, point goes to the striped feline. And you, spectator, you're smiling, aren't you? I bet you tried to decide before I even gave the verdict. Be honest, were you team alligator, cheering for bone-crushing bites, or team tiger, rooting for feline agility? Tell me, if it were you in the middle of the river, which side would you pick? Number 12, alligator versus grizzly bear. Picture the scene. A muddy river, silent except for the rustling of leaves and the sharp sense of smell of a massive brown-furred giant. The grizzly approaches, hungry, muscles carved for brute strength. Suddenly, two eyes break the water's surface. Cold, still, ancient as time itself. The alligator. Two worlds collide. Swampy jungle versus frozen mountains. The alligator is a reptilian tank, covered in bony armor, with serrated dagger-like teeth and a bite that reaches more than 1,600 kilos of pressure per square centimeter. It's like a living hydraulic press. Its strategy is simple, but devastating. Grab, spin, shred. The infamous death roll has sealed the fate of countless prey over millions of years. The gator doesn't chase, it waits, patient, until one false move puts the enemy within reach of its jaws. On the other side, the grizzly bear, a colossus weighing up to 600 kilos, capable of running over 50 km/h, lifting logs, flipping boulders, and delivering a paw strike powerful enough to tear an elk in half. Its forelegs work like sledgehammers, and its bite, though not as strong as the gator's, is still more than enough to crush bones with ease. Unlike the reptile, the bear has stamina. It can fight for minutes, even hours, relying on lungs and muscle to wear down the opponent. But here comes the crucial factor: terrain. In water, the alligator reigns. It moves with explosive speed, invisible until the last second. A surprise attack in the river, and even a bear could be dragged, spun, and trapped by the current. But on land, the story changes. The gator is heavy, slow, clumsy. The bear, on solid ground, becomes a storm of power and brutality. One well-placed strike could flip the gator onto its back, and a belly-up alligator is a disarmed warrior. So who wins? In the end, in a direct clash, the grizzly bear has the advantage. It has greater intelligence, stamina, and a wider arsenal of attacks. The alligator is a perfect trap, but it depends on surprise and water to shine. Outside of that, the bear not only survives, it ends the duel as the true sovereign. And now I ask you, if you were standing by that riverbank, would you root for the cold precision of the alligator or the overwhelming brutality of the bear? Just be careful, because while you're deciding, one of them might already be watching you. Number 11, alligator versus hippopotamus. Imagine the scene. On one side, the alligator, the ambush master, its mouth a biological steel trap, teeth like daggers built not to chew but to grab and tear. The gladiator of still waters, patient, calculating, able to wait for hours, motionless before a lightning strike. Its favorite move? The death roll. It clamps onto its prey and spins like a deranged propeller, shredding muscle, bone, and any chance of escape. Silent predator, river's shadow. On the other side, the hippopotamus, the living wall. No subtlety here. We're talking about a war tank with short legs and a massive mouth. When it yawns, the opening is wide enough to swallow a basketball whole. Its canines, ivory sabers, can grow over half a meter long, and each bite screams, "Stay away." No wonder the hippo is considered one of the most dangerous animals in Africa, with enough brute force to flip boats, crush alligators, and even take on lions. In nature's arena, the alligator bets on stealth. It knows how to sneak, how to strike where it hurts. But the hippo doesn't need tricks. It is raw, unstoppable force. The gator is technique. The hippo is a bulldozer with fangs. And when these worlds collide, the gator may try to ambush, clamp a leg, grab a flank, but here's the problem. The hippo's hide is thick, like natural armor, hard to pierce. The gator's bite is strong, but the hippo answers with crushing power that snaps bones like dry twigs. It's an unfair duel. The reptile's patience finds no opening in the mammal's brutality. One charge, and the hippo turns the alligator into a rag doll tossed aside by the current. So, who wins? No suspense here. The hippopotamus is the absolute champion. The gator may be deadly against zebras, wildebeests, even unlucky humans, but against a 3-ton wall with saber-like teeth, it's just a nuisance. And now let's play with you, viewer. Haven't you noticed that deep down, we're all a bit alligator and a bit hippopotamus? Sometimes we plan, we wait, we strike at the perfect moment, gator mode. Other times, life demands we charge head-on brutally without hesitation, hippo mode. The big question is, which one are you? The gator that waits too long, or the hippo that takes what it wants without asking? Number 10, alligator versus African buffalo. On the edge of an African river, two giants from different worlds face each other. On one side, the Nile crocodile, a prehistoric reptile armed with jaws that clamp with over 2,200 kilos of force per square centimeter. It's like an iron gate slamming shut in a split second. The teeth? Not for chewing, they're living nails designed to grip and never let go. The gator is pure ambush, pure patience. It doesn't chase prey, it waits, silent, still, mistaken for a floating log, until the fatal mistake of getting too close to the water. On the other side, the African buffalo, a walking fortress weighing nearly 900 kilos of compact muscle, shielded by a thick, hardened hide. Its head is practically a battering ram with crescent-shaped horns sharp enough to impale a lion. The buffalo isn't just brute force, it's endurance, it's collective courage. They live in herds, famous for charging back to rescue companions, and when it decides to attack, it's like a tank in full sprint, unstoppable, unforgiving. Now imagine the clash. clash. The alligator tries its classic strategy, the ambush. It only needs one slip from the buffalo to clamp onto a leg and drag it underwater. If it manages the death roll, that violent spin that tears apart limbs, the reptile could turn a giant into prey. But here's the problem. The buffalo isn't a fragile antelope. It has the strength to drag the gator back onto land. And on dry ground, the reptile is nearly a fish out of water. Slow, heavy, vulnerable. The buffalo, once aware of the attack, doesn't panic. It fights back. Horns crash down like lances, crushing bones. And a stomp from nearly a ton of weight can turn the gator into twisted leather. Many crocodiles have learned too late that a buffalo doesn't surrender easily. In a direct duel, the balance tips toward the African buffalo. Yes, the alligator is deadly in surprise attacks, but when it comes to brute strength, stamina, and face-to-face combat, the buffalo holds the advantage. It doesn't just survive, it wins. And you, viewer, have you thought about which side you'd take in this fight? The cold, lurking patience waiting for the perfect chance, or the explosive force that prefers to solve problems head-on? If it were you, would you dive into life with gator-like patience? Or face it head first, charging at your challenges like an enraged buffalo? Number 9. Alligator versus elephant. Picture the scene. On one side, the alligator, a prehistoric tank with over 200 million years of evolution. On the other, the elephant, the greatest land fortress alive today, a colossus of muscle, tusks, and intelligence. It's like putting medieval armor against an entire castle. Brutal, uneven, yet fascinating. The alligator is a master of surprise attacks. It doesn't chase over long distances, doesn't pursue, it waits. Still, almost like an aquatic statue, its camouflage is its greatest trick. The approach is slow, calculated, silent, and when it strikes, it's concentrated violence in a single move, the bite. Its jaws are a hydraulic press capable of crushing bones with over 1,500 kilos of force. No animal caught easily escapes. Add the infamous death roll, turning prey into a rag doll, tearing flesh, ripping limbs, shredding anything within reach. In terms of raw brutality, the alligator is king. But then comes the elephant, a true colossus of nature. Weighing over 6 tons of pure muscle mass, it doesn't need stealth. It doesn't hide. Its strength is so overwhelming that a single push can snap trees like matchsticks. Its ivory tusks are sharpened lances, and its trunk isn't just a long nose. It's a multi-tool with over 40,000 muscles, capable of uprooting a tree or lifting enemies and tossing them like toys. And beyond brute strength, the elephant has what the alligator lacks: social intelligence, memory, and strategy. It doesn't just fight, it understands the threat, learns, and reacts. Now imagine the battle. The gator, hidden in the water, waits for the exact moment the elephant approaches to drink. The ambush comes. A lunge, jaws closing on the giant's trunk or leg. The power is immense, but here's the difference. The elephant isn't a helpless antelope. It reacts, and it reacts violently. One stomp from a multi-ton leg can turn the gator into a bag of broken bones. Not enough. The trunk can lift the predator and slam it against the ground like a discarded stone. The death roll simply doesn't work against a wall weighing thousands of kilos that can crush everything nearby with minimal effort. In practice, the alligator has only one real chance: a perfect strike on the throat of a calf. Against an adult, though, there's no contest. The elephant wins. It doesn't just endure, it dominates, crushes, and turns the fight into a one-sided display of brute force. The alligator may be the king of rivers, but on land, the gray giant wears the crown. And now I ask you, do you still think size doesn't matter? Just imagine, you, distracted, thinking you could handle a cute baby elephant. Well, if even an alligator, this living dinosaur with a bone-crushing mouth, stands no chance, what about us? Fragile 70-kilo mortals with brittle bones. Best to keep this one in imagination, right? Number 8. Alligator versus Nile crocodile. The swamp looks calm, but the waters hide two ancient monsters carrying millions of years of evolution in their teeth and skin. On one side, the alligator, the ambush master of the Americas, with its robust armor and cold, unreadable stare. On the other, the Nile crocodile, one of Africa's top predators, the true war tank of rivers. Two titans ready to clash. The alligator's weapon is its bite, up to 2,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. If it closes on a human arm, there's no arm left. Its thick skin skin is natural armor, deflecting shallow bites and scratches. The gator isn't flashy. It prefers surprise attacks, grabbing and dragging prey into the water. Classic technique, simple, direct, and almost always fatal. But the Nile crocodile, that's no lightweight. This beast can exceed 5 meters in length and weigh more than 700 kilos. Its bite? Even more insane, 3,700 psi, the strongest in the animal kingdom. If the gator is a jiu-jitsu fighter, the Nile croc is a heavyweight boxer, pure brute force with a merciless killing instinct. On top of that, Nile crocs are bolder, more aggressive, and faster in the water. True rockets propelled by tails like steel whips. Now imagine the fight. The alligator would try strategy, waiting for the right moment, striking fast, clamping down. But the croc isn't naive. With greater size, reach, and a bite that shreds anything, it has the advantage in a head-to-head clash. Even if the alligator managed a solid strike, the difference in mass and raw brutality means the croc would outlast it. The result? The alligator is tough, yes, respectable of course, but against the Nile crocodile, it's the younger brother trying to take on the family's bruiser. In a real fight, the Nile croc comes out the winner. And be honest, were you rooting for the alligator? I bet you were. It has that gritty underdog vibe, the fighter that never gives up. But deep down, you knew the croc was taking this one. No use denying it. So beware by an African river. If you see a pair of glowing yellow eyes at the surface, know this. It's not the alligator saying hello. It's the boss of the waters. Number 7. Alligator versus saltwater crocodile. The alligator. Compact, muscular, literally armed to the teeth. It's the pit bull of aquatic reptiles. Not as large as some distant cousins, but it makes up for it with agility. Its body is designed for lightning-fast ambushes. One snap of its jaws, and you've got over 1,500 psi of force clamping like a steel trap. The gator knows patience, knows how to wait, silent, still, like a floating log, until, bam! The strike comes in a burst of energy. It's a specialist in calm waters, swampy terrain, where stealth is its greatest weapon. The master of aquatic camouflage. Now, across the water enters the saltwater crocodile. And here, my friend, we're talking Titan. If the alligator is a pit bull, the saltwater croc is an amphibious battle tank with teeth. It can reach 7 meters in length and weigh over a ton. Not just big, monstrous. Its bite, over 3,700 psi, the most powerful in the entire animal kingdom. To give you an idea, that's like an entire compact car crushing something at once. This reptile is nature's true final boss. Tough, adaptable to sea, rivers, and estuaries. Not just a predator, an empire in reptile form. Now, the moves. The alligator, with its agility and reflexes, could try to surprise the salty. It's quick, precise in ambush, used to dropping prey in fractions of a second. Against similarly sized opponents, this tactic works brilliantly, but against the giant of Northern Australia, whole different story. The saltwater croc isn't just bigger, it's tougher, with nearly impenetrable armor and physical force that makes resistance almost laughable. One death roll from a beast like this is like being thrown into a washing machine filled with blades instead of water. On paper, the gator could bite, could react, but it couldn't sustain the battle. The saltwater crocodile has more strength, more reach, more weight, and sheer brutality. It's the difference between a middleweight boxer and a legendary heavyweight. The alligator has weapons, but in this direct clash, it would be dominated. The verdict is clear: the saltwater crocodile wins. Not just wins, steamrolls. Without a doubt, it's the stronger of the two. And now, dear viewer, let me provoke you. Which side would you take? The strategic, stealthy ambush master alligator, or the saltwater crocodile? This colossus from the Jurassic Age, reminding us who truly rules rivers and seas. Choose wisely, because if you fall into the wrong waters, no cheering crowd can save you. Number 6, alligator versus green anaconda. Imagine a scenario deep in the Amazon where two giants of nature share the same domain: the green anaconda, the largest snake in the world, and the Yakureiatsu giant alligator, an armored tank of scales. Two forces that don't need to seek each other out, but when they cross paths, the tension becomes almost tangible. On one side, the alligator, a reptile built like a mobile fortress. Its bite is legendary, over 2,000 kilos of force per square centimeter, crushing anything daring enough to come between its teeth. Like a hydraulic plier of nature, impossible to open once closed. Add to that, a bony armor made of dermal shields acting as natural steel plates. In short, attacking head-on is asking to leave without an arm, or your life. On the other, the green anaconda, a master of silence. It doesn't rely on venom or extreme speed. Its weapon is the death hug, able to exert over 90 kilos of pressure per square centimeter with its coils. It doesn't bite to kill, it squeezes. Every time the prey exhales, the snake tightens until the body cannot expand anymore. The heart stops, lungs fail, and silence reigns. It doesn't need to chase because its tactic is simple. Wait, strike with lightning speed, and coil. The alligator has the advantage of bite strength and armor. The anaconda has the advantage of flexibility and full body control. Both are adapted to the same environment. Dark rivers, murky waters, banks filled with vegetation. If the alligator is the wall, the anaconda is the invisible rope wrapping around it. But here's the decisive factor: endurance. The alligator can hold its breath for over 30 minutes underwater, negating part of the snake's strategy since it relies on suffocating its prey. Moreover, unlike a mammal, the alligator's armored body is extremely difficult to compress enough to cause circulatory failure. The anaconda, despite its massive size, has the disadvantage of not withstanding a crushing bite. A well-placed bite to its spine or skull would be fatal. In the end, between the hydraulic force of a bite and the constricting pressure of a hug, the scales tip toward the alligator. It's simply too well equipped to resist the anaconda's method, while the snake doesn't have enough defense against the reptile's jaws. Winner, the Yakureyasu giant alligator. Now, seriously, if you were swimming in the river and saw only the anaconda's head or the alligator's eyes emerging from the water, who would you trust to survive? Yep, in the end, it's all imagination, but I wouldn't risk even a finger in that scenario. And would you dare pick a side? Number 5, alligator versus bull shark. Imagine the scene: a muddy river meets the salty sea. In this hybrid territory, two colossal predators can cross paths. The alligator, lord of rivers and mangroves, and the bull shark, the true ghost of estuaries. Two monsters that ask no permission, reigning wherever they swim, but which one carries the title of supreme strength? The alligator arrives first, armored like a tank, scales resembling medieval plates. Its trump card, the bite, over 1,700 kilos of pressure per square centimeter. When it clamps down, there's no escape, like iron crushed in a hydraulic press. It's not fast over long distances, but the burst is explosive. A short, violent leap, perfect for ambushes. And there's more. It's patient. It can stay motionless for hours, eyes and nostrils just above the water, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. On the other side, gliding with the calm arrogance of a master of currents, the bull shark. Less talked about, but one of the most dangerous sharks in the world. Unlike its ocean-dwelling cousins, it ventures into freshwater rivers. Yes, rivers. And that puts it face to face with crocodilians. Its body is pure muscle, up to 3 meters long and 300 kilos. It's practically a biological missile. Its bite is nothing to scoff at either. Around 600 kilos of force, with teeth designed to slice flesh like serrated blades. If the alligator crushes, the shark tears. Moreover, it has the advantage of stamina. Where the alligator bets on a lightning strike, the shark swims tirelessly, circling its prey until a weakness appears. Both share one thing: strategy. The alligator favors the ambush strike, grabbing and dragging into a death roll, twisting bones and organs until the victim cannot resist. The shark, on the other hand, attacks from angles, returns, measures, strikes again, cutting and wearing down. It's like comparing a jiu-jitsu fighter to a heavy hitter boxer. Two styles, two dangers. But if the question is who's stronger, the scales tip toward the alligator. Its bite is unmatched. Its natural armor can withstand even shark bites. And in shallow waters, the likely meeting ground, the bull shark loses mobility. It's an incredible predator, but outside its main arena, the deep ocean, it struggles. The alligator, master of hybrid territory, holds the advantage. So yes, the alligator is the champion of this natural showdown. Now tell me, reader, have you imagined encountering one of these two while diving or fishing? Yeah, maybe best to stay on the safe side of the screen, cheering and picking your favorite as if it were a wild UFC. So which team would you join, the armored tank alligator or the relentless torpedo shark? Number 4, alligator versus orca. Imagine the scene. On one side, the alligator, a tank of living leather with jaws capable of exerting over 500 kilos of pressure. It is patient, treacherous, a master of the ambush. One careless move and snap, bones break like twigs. Its skin is practically medieval armor, resistant to bites, scratches, and even small caliber bullets. A fighter of endurance, accustomed to waiting for hours motionless just to strike at the perfect moment. On the other side, the orca, also called the killer whale, though it's not really a whale in anything but size. A genius level strategist, titan strength, and a mouth full of teeth sharp as industrial kitchen knives. Orcas hunt in packs, but alone, they're still a nightmare. They can leap out of the water with tons of muscle, toss seals into the air like toys, and even take down large sharks. Moreover, they play with their food. This isn't just brute force, it's calculated cruelty. In a direct confrontation, no matter how armored the alligator is, inside the orca's territory, it becomes a snack. The orca can grab, shake, and literally split it in two with the combined force of its bite and body weight. This is not a fight, it's natural inequality. So tell me, were you rooting for the alligator, thinking this armored giant could withstand it? Or did you already know the orca, a true aquatic machine of destruction, would win without breaking a fin? Be honest, because deep down, I know you wanted to see this duel live. Winner, orca. Number 3, alligator versus leopard. Imagine the scene. On one side, the alligator, pure natural armor. Its skin is almost like medieval plate, resistant even to other predators' bites. Its mouth, a walking guillotine, capable of applying tons of pressure in a single clamp. The creature is patient, cold, calculated, a true ambush tank. On the other side, the leopard, master of agility, with muscles designed to leap up to 6 meters and drag prey twice its size up into trees. This feline is speed, explosion, and precision in predator form. Its claws work like scalpels, and unlike the alligator, it hunts with versatility, on land, in water, day or night. In a hypothetical duel, the leopard might have an advantage in fast attacks, but the problem is simple. Once the alligator grabs, it doesn't let go. Its bite force surpasses any attempt to escape. The feline's speed meets a wall of teeth and thick hide. Result, the alligator takes the crown for brute strength. Now tell me, if you were the leopard, would you dare take the first leap or already be thinking of an excuse to climb a tree quickly? Number 2, alligator versus polar bear. Imagine the scene. On one side, the alligator, master of ambush. It is a natural war tank, thick-skinned like medieval armor, jaws that close with a ton of pressure and infinite patience. In the wild ring, it doesn't chase prey. It waits, motionless, stealthy, and when it strikes, it's as if the ground itself has grown teeth. One bite and that's it. Goodbye. On the other side, the polar bear, the true colossus of the Arctic. Brute force wrapped in white fur. It can weigh up to 600 kilos, run faster than you'd imagine. Yes, it would catch you easily, and has claws that tear like blades. The bear is not just muscle, it has endurance. It can hunt for hours, swim kilometers in icy waters, and emerge from the sea like a gladiator with wet fur. So, who wins? The alligator, despite its legendary bite, would face serious difficulties. It is powerful in aquatic ambushes, but in a direct confrontation out of the water, it becomes a heavy, slow target. The polar bear is versatile, dominates on land, is an excellent swimmer, and unlike the alligator, does not rely on surprise to win. Winner, polar bear. Number 1, alligator versus spotted hyena. The alligator is pure patience and brutality, silent in the water, only eyes above the surface, waiting for the right moment. When it strikes, there's no warning, a sharp snap of jaws capable of crushing bones like twigs. Its bite is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom, exceeding 2 tons of pressure. It doesn't run much on land, but when it decides to bite, it's like an iron gate slamming shut. The spotted hyena is the definition of opportunistic muscle, not just a cackling sound on the savannah. Its jaws rival big cats, capable of crushing bones to reach marrow. Unlike the alligator, the hyena doesn't need to hide. It hunts in packs, but even alone it can be bold, running long distances, dodging attacks, biting and releasing until the prey tires. If the fight is in water, the alligator wins easily. One grab and it's over. But on land, the hyena has an advantage in agility, endurance, and social intelligence. However, mano a mano, without a pack and without the open savanna to escape, the alligator's bite is simply superior. Winner. Alligator. Brute force wins over strategy this time. Now be honest, would you dare put your hand in to decide the fight, huh? Better just watch. Don't want to be the leftover. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Check out other interesting videos popping up on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.